in 5, 4.
Hello, AfterBuzzers, and you guys are watching the challenge. We've got a special night for you. We have not one, but 2 guests, so tune in now to see who they are.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Dario's choice, so show us the dance moves.
No dance moves, but
No
I can say the word. I can say the words.
Do it, go.
Turn it up. What the is that sound? A boogie with a hoodie. And all my East Coast people, if you don't know about A Boogie, you're doing something wrong. DM me. I'll send you his whole album.
Blowing up, you said. He's on the rise. There you go. Well, welcome everybody. You guys are in for a special treat because we've got Ashley and Dario in the studio tonight. Hello and welcome. And you guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar. And Jenna, where can they find you?
Hey guys, it's Jenna, and you can find me on Twitter at Jenna_Bussiere.
And guys, where can they find you on social media?
Twitter, it's Ashley Marie MTV, and then on Instagram, it's just my name, Ashley Marie Kelsey.
Dario.Medrano. Instagram. I don't tweet, so don't hit me on Twitter. I won't hit you back.
There you go. Now we're going to talk about tonight's episode, season 29, episode 6, The Mile High Club. Now, we saw a lot of couples tonight. Now, the fans have not seen you on TV. Saw a little bit of flirting last week. But if you don't know, now you know. They are a couple. So,
Where's the ring, guys? Let me see.
Dario's got one.
Oh, Dario
Didn't
has
get
a
me
ring
one
on.
yet.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, you missed
It's in the mail.
This is from Topman.
Before we went live, you guys should know that Dario was talking about babies. So they are officially a couple and serious, and they are the cutest couple ever.
So when do the fans get to start seeing you kind of
We kind of thought this week it was going to happen, but you can't predict how they're going to edit. So we think next week.
So by this time, we saw some flirting. By this time, did it just progress even more? You guys official, or
We weren't official there,
Okay.
no. But once we started hanging out, we hung out the entire time we were there. So
yeah, because I'm trying to figure out, we're seeing so many couples tonight. Like everybody. I'm like, how are Dario and Ashley, how are you not seeing this romance blossom yet? Like, what was happening behind the scenes that none of us even got a little tidbit of?
It depends, because the way they edit the show, things happen later, and they put it first. So the timeline's like, there is no timeline.
Okay.
But for us, I think it was like a snowball, and we were, at least I was, very cautious whenever the cameras came around. Like, I went from this to this, and it was, it's weird, because this goes back to my, the first time I ever did TV, or was ever on a show, and I was that guy that was like, I'll hook up with everyone, like, I'll be a model, I don't care about the camera, I'll sleep with her in front of everyone. But when the camera comes around, like, I'm very shy in a way. So for a while,
Definitely a big change.
I don't know.
She has
I don't
something
know.
different to say.
No, you don't say.
you're not shy.
No, I am not shy, but
It was kind of opposite.
Was I not
'cause
acting
normally
that way?
I'm super reserved, and
Right.
not that I
see
wasn't
that,
with
yeah.
him, but I was like, babe, who cares about the camera? Like,
yeah,
it's
she
there.
wasn't calling me babe then, but
Yeah, but I was like, it's there. It's like, deal with it. And I'm normally the one that was like timid
But
about it. So
you can vouch for me that I was
Yeah, you
doing
are.
that, where I was like this,
yeah,
and
he
then
was.
they
It
would
was
come around, I was
annoying
like,
actually.
or I would kiss you, and then I would stop.
So is it that you didn't want people at home to see, or you just didn't want your personal life on camera? Like, what was really kind of holding you back from letting the cameras capture you guys?
They do capture us. We just
haven't seen it yet. Okay.
You will see more than you have for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't. I guess we don't know what, so we don't want to tell everybody
Right,
and kind of
Of course,
spoil
let's
it.
not spoil it.
Yeah.
She didn't let me sleep with her. If you got everyone.
As you
Which is
should.
amazing, yeah.
Props to
That's
you,
nothing
Ashley.
new.
No, yeah, exactly. We haven't seen that. Right.
I didn't try either.
Good.
Just kidding.
With
I
the
think you
eyebrow.
told me you had
I
blue
didn't try
balls
either.
multiple times.
Oh, there it is. That's
He did.
definitely something that we're probably
you
not
have
going to
it,
see
No
on
comment.
TV.
No comment.
Well, we're gonna stay on this couple train a little bit because the fans know that you did date Zach, and we did talk a little bit about this. We saw Jenna and how Zach had left her, and how he had left Donna. Did you experience the same thing? I mean, you.
Well, I was a little different, I think, because I broke up with him.
Okay.
And so in their situations, it was opposite, and obviously you handle that a little differently.
Right.
But going into my first challenge, I didn't know what to expect with him, and it was not that it was difficult, it just wasn't that fun for me. I kept, I was very guarded, hadn't seen him in a long time, so my experience was obviously different, and then I saw how he was with them. And so going into this house, I actually had a conversation. I didn't know how I was going to be with Jenna. It's not that I cared, but I'm like, that's just a weird
awkward
situation.
Yeah.
And so I said to her, she said something about Zach, and like, should I talk to him? Like, he's not going to talk to you. You should go talk to him. Because that's just how he is. It's not that he probably wanted to. He just is not going to be the one to make the first move.
And why should she talk to him, though? Like, he cheated on her.
I don't know that she should or shouldn't. I don't know their situation or their story. And obviously, like, that's what was shown that happened. And there's probably more details to that. But she still loved him. Obviously, you can tell that she still liked him. So she wanted to speak to him. So obviously, I'm going to give her advice based on that.
And that is really cool of you, because I feel like we see that with a lot of couples that are formed in this house. Automatically, the previous person that dated that person hates the new person that they're hooking up with. Right. So
it was ancient times for me. Like I was even saying before, it feels like that never even happened in my life because it's so long ago that no one even affects me. Even in the first challenge house with everything with John A, that didn't affect me, and people were like mind blown. They were like, "How do you not care?" I'm like, "Because I didn't want to be with him, so why would I care?"
And, and everyone handles it different. Now Dario did. Yeah, I'm asking. In the house, was it awkward?
Not
I mean,
at all.
obviously, your relationship with Ashley didn't happen until later in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But when you guys were progressing,
right? Not at all. For whatever reason, that never. I think maybe, if anything, recently, like it may have popped into my mind, but at that time, there was zero of me that cared. I used to wake up. It was funny because. So we would sleep together, not like sleep together, but physically sleep together. Yeah. And I would wake up and go into the kitchen every morning, and it would be all the champs, all the older guys, and they would like give me shit every morning. And not
sleeping with
not
Ashley,
ragging,
like...
not ragging on her, just like oh my god. They just said all kinds of stuff.
Because they're probably not used to being respectful guys, and like
they just, I don't know, they just bust my balls. But Zach never, it was never,
it's almost even more awkward.
Yeah, it was just like annoying to deal with. You don't have to deal with that in the real world, and
I think
it wasn't a big deal.
The way that me and him interacted too played a part. Like me and Zach we all traveled to freaking Thailand, which takes hours and hours and hours and hours.
Right.
And so like we got time to just like hang out like normal people. I mean, we live nowhere near each other, so I didn't see him in years.
Without
and it was
the cameras.
Just normal. It didn't feel awkward. It didn't feel like we dated. It just felt normal. And so for us to hang out inside the house and it just not be awkward made it easier, I think, because it didn't. There's no tension. It wasn't like I was acting like anything. Nothing was brought up. It was just easy.
And the focus was more on Zach and Jenna anyway, because their relationship was so out there.
Of course.
Yeah. All right.
Poor
Well,
Jenna.
let's get down to some real business.
Yes.
And let's get into the elimination and the challenge. Now, we left last week's episode with Dario voting in Sylvia.
Yeah.
Now, on the episode, you said that you thought she was the weakest.
Side going on.
Right.
Do you still stand by that?
At that point, it's hard to discuss things without revealing anything, but at that point, she showed every sign of being the weakest girl, and at that point in the game, I hadn't chosen which side I wanted to be on.
Right.
I was kind of just like a free-falling guy. I was really quiet. So I didn't know anything. And no one, aside maybe Amanda, who I was good friends with on the girl side, no one ever came up to me and was like, yo, I got you. So I didn't feel like I owed anyone anything. So when I said her name and she kind of looked at me like, how could you choose me? I took offense because it's her first season, and I don't want to use that saying, but it's your first season. You came in last. It's like when you get picked last in kickball. Does that mean you're the worst? Kinda.
Now, did her
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
For
did
choosing
her
for a
coming-
reason, prove yourself.
Right, and I felt like her getting mad at me was like, you should know that because of what I've done, that you shouldn't put me like there was.
Like, what'd you do?
There was no prior.
Yeah.
There was nothing prior. You're new. You came in last, so hey.
Yeah.
Like I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
Just breaking our equipment.
I know.
He's all dialed up now, Sylvia. What are you doing to him?
It's not like I chose to make that decision on the spot. That was just. You saw how Ashley acted.
Well, wasn't it on the spot? when you had to vote them in?
Yeah, it was after that. He said choose right there, right at the challenge.
Which, by the way, none of us knew that was the way it was going to be.
Right.
So
you could tell. I mean, Ashley was looking around like she just found out a family member died.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's like, what in the world just happened
She's
to
dramatic.
me? But it's
But even
but it's so
introduced at
great.
that point, like, we all knew we were competing against each other, but we didn't know our eliminations would not be
Yeah.
against them. So it was
Twist
like an
on
eye-opener
twist
for
this
us.
season.
We were like, well, this sucks. You know?
Well, no
we
one's ever
thought
safe.
at first, we're like, no offense to everyone, we were like, oh, we'll definitely get to the final. And now we're like, oh, shit.
And then you score first, you get to pick who goes
yeah.
in, but then somebody could turn the tables and score, or
But
I'm sorry, throw you right back in.
TJ didn't say that right away.
Right, exactly.
So when the girls got to pick, like he said it after Ashley picked, and that was how it really happened. So I felt like I was pumped because he didn't tell her that, hey, you can pick Dario.
First.
Right. So it was cool, but you know, me and Sylvia are fine. At the time, though, she was. I mean, I was like, damn, whatever. I don't even know her last name, but I felt like I had her last name, like she was family.
I feel like it could have been anybody that voted her in. She was just so quick to jump on the defense because she heard her name and was like, what? Why me?
Well, but at the same time, before that, a lot of people were already calling her weak. Even though she had already went into an elimination camp.
That's true. She had a chip on her shoulder.
I don't know the name of the challenge, the one with the cage.
We do, totally, right?
I forget
don't
the
know
name
the
of
name
it.
of it.
Oh,
Anyway,
Cage and... I know,
Cage and
I was
Rage,
kidding.
was it? I don't know.
Sure, yeah, Cage and Rage.
Whatever. Latoya,
Ranger in the cage.
Latoya and Sylvia.
TJ? You got TJ's number, right?
I don't know. Latoya and Sylvia, poor girls, they needed like a water break. They were really, really tired, and it was obvious that, you know, they're not in the best physical shape, and there was just enough there for me to say, okay, I feel confident that it's not going to come back and hurt me.
Well, we'll get into
find
that
out, right?
later, yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'm going to see you, Paulina, before I
Let's
start
go
jumping
into
all over the
elimination.
map.
This is called the Fortress, where they all go and someone goes home. Tonight's game was Tuck, Tuck, Bang, Bang. We've got Sylvia versus
Sounds like
Kayla,
something sexual, you
and
said.
Shane and
Yeah,
Tony.
did you laugh or not?
Yes, we did.
People hit me up about that. I was like, okay.
I did.
Do you know the No Quitters? Not to give them credit.
Yeah, No Quitters
Barstool?
podcast. We know you, Barstool.
They hated me for a long time.
Oh, I know. I saw them too.
And now they're like evolving into like.
Now they're
Yeah.
Because of me.
I think it is.
like Dario made me laugh.
I
What just
needed her,
happened
though.
tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
That's exactly
I
what
know
it
the No Quitters podcast.
She does her research.
She does. Yeah, you're
I
prepared.
know Barstool. But yeah, like and we were talking about this a little bit before we came into studio, that you've evolved a lot since when you were first on the show. You've matured, you changed, and you said that you kind of don't even really watch the full episodes anymore. Tell everybody why, your reasoning behind that.
I'm not gonna say I don't watch them. I do watch them.
Right.
But here's the thing with that show is like there are things you can say while you're filming the show that's gonna draw the camera's attention, and they're gonna come over and they're gonna film what you say. Like if me and you are sitting down and I'm like, hey, so what do you think the next challenge is gonna be?
Right.
Cameras are gonna come, they're gonna record that, and it's gonna get on TV. The problem is we're around each other 24/7. I don't give a fuck what the challenge is gonna be. I don't want to talk about. It's the last thing I want to talk about.
Right,
I want to talk about chocolate and my girl. You know
chocolate and your girl.
and my girl, right? Chocolate
same
and my
time.
girl, getting out of my girl.
I don't even know.
That's a totally different
sure
show.
that means.
I'm just trying to be all like smooth and under the radar. Dario's like, let's talk
No,
about it.
I'm kidding. But anyways, you don't want to talk about those things, and look, like we get it. You don't know what it's gonna be. So watching it just reminds me of how annoying some of the things are, and I'm not the only one that feels that way, and it just gets repetitive. So,
Yeah, but we do have to hand it to you guys for staying so low when the cameras are around and you're just like drinking, you're stuck in this house all day. It's so easy to get trapped in that world where you're bored, you're delusional, and you're kind of like creating drama, and cameras are drawn to you. So you guys did a great job of just, not letting it affect you too much.
I haven't really like found someone like her on or off TV. So when you get, I know, but when you
come on, guys.
when you get that, it's so much easier. We could talk about. I mean,
We would sit there and talk for hours at night. We'd be the last ones to go to sleep.
Oh God,
For
this
sure.
high school couple
like the
right now.
best.
You really honestly,
You go to sleep first.
I was like, do not let me fall asleep in here. I'm going to my bed. That's what I would say every night. And he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, I'll wake
That
you
was
up.
so funny because all the other girls are like, whose bed am I sleeping in tonight?
No, I was like, you better wake me up.
All right, back to this Tuck Tuck Bang Bang. Sylvia and Kayla, what is the strategy that you would have going into this? Because this seems like there's not a big platform to run to push the cart.
Yeah. No. We all talk about strategy while they're prepping and getting everything ready, and we on our side we were talking about what they should do, and we kind of knew right off the bat like what the angle should be. We can't tell them, or we're not going to. We're just gonna like observe, but you could tell pretty much who was doing it right and who wasn't, and it was just getting a groove, to be honest. And like I think people thought that the tougher, the stronger were gonna win, and so it was a little disappointing for some that they didn't. But that's this game. This game isn't not necessarily strength sometimes when you think it is. It's not necessarily brains when you think it is. It's sometimes luck. It's so all over the place. You really can't predict what's gonna happen.
And I mean, I was actually truly shocked that Sylvia won. I mean,
Right?
I'm sure you
She
were.
was
You
cruising.
cruised
It was
Every time her tongue
No,
went
she
further,
was
I punched
cruising.
myself in the ball. I'm done.
So you were punching yourself in the balls. You were getting blue balls. Jeez, Dario. Like,
Yeah, balls weren't in good shape.
Dario's balls are not in good shape this entire
No.
season.
Not really. Not really.
Yeah, no, that was completely surprising.
And what they didn't show when Tony went, he actually broke his tuck. It like broke. They took what, like an hour?
You know the part that like went up that you were running into?
Yeah.
He was hitting
the
it
little
so hard that
squishy
it like
side.
fell forward, and
broke.
they had to rebuild it, and we
Tuck
had to wait.
down. They
Oh
call
my
AAA
God,
and
could
everything.
you?
Yeah.
That's a buzzkill. That's blue balls right now. You get going.
So imagine that,
get
you gotta
in your
reset.
groove, and
It's
then
like-
you're tuck.
So it's
How long
tough.
do
Breaks.
these eliminations actually last? Does it just depend on the challenge? I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like you
It
guys are
depends
just
on
there all
everything,
night.
weather, like all
It
sorts of
rained,
stuff.
that one too.
That
I
one
saw
rained,
that.
and
It
then they
started
had
coming
just built
down,
the
yeah.
set, so there was like, just like sheetrock. You know how it's like glass. So we were all sitting down on it, so there was like glass, like. So yeah, we're sitting there like, why am I itchy? And everyone was like, oh shit. And some
uncomfortable.
girls had like shorts on.
Yeah.
Like it's the stuff like that you guys don't see.
Yeah.
Walking in.
Stuff they don't
Yeah.
want to be like, oops, like we made a boo boo, and now everybody's all the
Itchy.
equipment's breaking, everybody's getting high.
They like
Things
they
just
were
happen.
they brought like welders in. They were welding the
Yeah,
whole
it was
inside
crazy.
with bars. They had to fix
So
everything.
then you kept going that night. It wasn't like, all right,
Yeah, we
let's
kept
cut.
going that
We'll
night.
do this another
No.
night. All right.
We
wow.
we sit there in the rain and wait for it to happen.
Yeah, and I thought, I mean, Shane, like he likes to say that he's underestimated, and he very well may be, but there was no doubt that he was, I thought, the smartest person on our side. Like, he's a very smart dude. He knows what he's doing, and the challenge isn't all about like, you know, like
Being
it may,
strong
it
and
may
big.
help you here and there, but Shane is a good competitor, you know, and I think sometimes he, you know, thinks that, or I don't know, maybe they made it look that like he wasn't that good, but at least I was very aware that he was a dangerous person to
Yeah.
Yeah.
to go against.
My team definitely knew that, but they've all experienced him. I didn't know Shane,
He's-
so
I
like
mean,
they
even-
knew they had gone on challenges with him, and
Exactly.
He's a really good guy too.
Yeah.
You guys would love him.
Yeah.
I
No, I
nice.
love watching him. I think
He's
he's so
so
sweet. I've
nice.
said that
Really
since the
good
first
dude.
episode.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Great
think
guy.
that he definitely has a chip on his shoulder as well because he's with the Underdogs. And
he's
no
older.
offense to you, he's older. He's been on so many challenges. He was on the first Road Rules with Darrell,
Yeah.
who was coming back as
I
a
was in middle
champion.
school,
So, right,
Yeah, you
exactly.
do
so
have such a good memory.
imagine he's playing
She
with
knows everything.
that's somebody who was in middle school by
Yeah.
the time he was first on the MTV challenges. So it's crazy. He's like, I really just have to destroy this and win. There's
Yeah.
no way I can't.
So I kind of want to pick your brain a little bit because this is your second challenge and you're not wrapped up in the drama. You're not very vocal. You're kind of quiet, but you pull your weight.
Yeah.
And you're good because you won. So what's your whole team? You're coming as a champ. Whose team are you on? What's your strategy? What's your end goal going into this? Because
Well, we didn't even know. Showing up the first day, we didn't know we were staying behind and like had this whole team thing. We didn't even know going into the first day when we met them that we were going to be a team until like, we saw our jerseys. Just
Right.
like that, we were worried
Okay.
like, are we going to be like, what's going to happen? Are we
Yeah.
against each other? Is
Are
this
they
like free
partners?
agents?
Right.
We honestly thought it was free agents most of the time. Or we were going to be paired up with someone. That's what we kept thinking. Like they're going to pair us with like one of the people that are already there.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, that would have been fun, right?
Yeah.
I'm always really quiet. That's kind of just my personality. But that doesn't mean I'm not observant. I'm very observant, and I think before I talk. I think before I act. I think before everything, which most people don't there. So it's just because you get caught up. So I don't really get caught up in drama, and I don't those things. And I am strong. Like I train, and I can definitely hold my own in that capacity. So it kind of plays in my favor. I didn't really know what to do with this one because I knew I was almost the underdog in my team, which I was. I mean, I had done, and a lot of people are like, "You've only done one challenge." I was like, "Yeah, but if you think about it, I did one challenge, I won. It wasn't too hard, and who else can say they did that? Like in reality, it's
mostly
like people
like
hate on that all the time, and I was like,
episode on their first one, and you
how many challenges have you won? Like,
yeah.
How can you hate on me for that? Like, so I definitely knew though, but within my team, like I hadn't done elimination rounds like all the girls had. I hadn't, competed, and I don't have the experience. So I was like, if anything, I know I'm going to be the first target. Like I knew all that stuff going into it, so I kind of just had an open mind about it.
So with it only being your second challenge, when you and the champions all got together, what was your relationship like with them? Were you friends with them right away, or did it take a while?
I knew nobody.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. I had met Laurel once when I went to watch DM do a reunion show. Okay. So I met her that one time, and I met Johnny at his 30th birthday party with DM. The only reason why I even knew any of them was through DM. Yeah. I knew nobody. So what's cool is when we were at the hotel, we had an extra like 10 days back in the States before we left or something like that. Camilla actually came and stayed at my house, and so I got to know her for like almost a week, which was actually really cool because then I had someone closer, and then I was in the hotel room with Cara, so I got to have conversations with her because even though I was on a show, I didn't get to like really conversate with the other teams with the first challenge because we were playing totally our own game. Yeah, like
it was the seasons.
Exactly, we had nothing to do with like them, so it was good that I got to spend time with her, and then traveling, you just get to know people really quick.
So you got to bond a lot before you
like
even
a 40-hour travel day.
Oh, okay.
You definitely.
So by the time you got in the house, you guys all felt like you'd be a good team together. Okay.
Yeah, and we weren't really gunning for each other, so it was nice.
That's true.
Well, speaking of travel day, I want to get this rumor.
Oh yeah, Mile High, right?
About Jenna and Bruno on the plane.
I wasn't there, so it's all you.
Dario, pick it up. You were on the plane.
Yeah, there were a few rows in front of me.
So not first class seat to it. First row seat.
No. I saw them next to each other, and then I was out. I fell asleep.
I feel like I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I feel like he would pass
out.
I wasn't, but I know they were next to each other, and I mean. I wouldn't be surprised, but again, I knocked out. They were next to each other.
I feel like it's so random though, because we didn't see anything else with them the entire first 4 or 5 episodes. Like there was no flirting after that. They didn't even talk. So why would they hook up on the plane then?
I'm cool with Bruno.
Random.
He slept next to me. We would, next to me. He did.
I thought I slept next to you.
Yeah. Well, she sleeps like
what happened after I went on a run?
Ashley sleeps on me. At the shelter, we had those crappy, like beds.
Like cots, really.
And,
the shelter, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the bug nets or whatever. So mine was here, Bruno's was next to me. But I remember him specifically saying, and I knew this prior, but... He was like, she won't even look at me. She's like, she was acting really different. And I know people were told that later on. But to me, I was like, oh, well, Zach's coming like that. Like we knew it just wasn't a big deal. And I think Jenna, once she found out that, not found out, but once she realized, hey, they may be coming.
There's a twist,
brakes came up. I don't want to be on anyone. Now, whether she was or she wasn't, I don't know. But she definitely switched up how she was acting.
It's a really good point. Very interesting. So it seems like something may have gone down, but I'm on Jenna's side. Why can't she do whatever she wants to do? She wasn't dating him. He cheated on her. She doesn't need to get all upset and cry. So I feel really bad for her in this situation.
I think sometimes you want to defend yourself just because you do.
Because people
you
are talking
don't have
about
to,
you.
But it's like an instinct of human beings. We want to make everyone believe whatever it is that you think happened or is that your opinion about it. So I felt kind of bad for her because what's the point? What was the point of that whole thing? Which is just to get
and the other girls,
that's what reality show is.
No, it is.
It's drama. That's
and honestly, it probably started.
Whether it's true or not. It's what.
And it could have started as like a harmless one-on-one conversation, as like casual, oh, this might happen, not really starting it, but it explodes inside those houses, and everyone catches on, and then it just becomes like a way bigger deal than it ever was intended to be or needed to be.
And especially if you have people who are so young who are just get caught up in that drama, who just want to start rumors just because. And
if you start talking about it, guess what comes? The camera. And what comes with the camera?
Run.
More
close
time
up.
on the TV.
And
It
that's
means
why we
more
got 29
followers.
seasons.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I hit 40K. You know what I mean? Like, it just,
Exactly.
we live in a world now where it's just, you know, how many followers do you have?
This
But
is
followers-
Also, when you're in a house and you're doing nothing, like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
you
It's
literally
so
sit
true.
there and drink, hang
Yeah.
out at the pool, tan a little bit. You go to the gym because, you know, you need an hour of that every day.
The Oasis gym. I know. Here we are, like saying.
Which was nothing. It was like a little room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had Darrell giving me workouts. I'm like, okay, you have to train me
nice.
because I like don't know what to do
Yeah,
in
all
this
the
thing.
champs are like so seasoned and trained. I'm sure between all of them, you got great workouts in while you were there.
Crazy work. Even in the hotel, like on the way, we were in
Cara,
Thailand for like 4
Laurel,
days,
like-
which is really upsetting because we actually took a lot of footage and they didn't play half of it yet. We
They
have a
did a little
whole
champs cam
Oh no, we
is
have a
what
whole
they
champ
did.
cam from the spa one day, and
Ooh.
I hope they play this because it's disturbing.
Oh, well, hopefully
It's
they
really-
do because we need to know more about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Uh-oh.
It's
So,
funny though.
what are you guys
That's
up to
great.
now? Now that you guys are done filming, and of course you guys can't tell us anything and don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
What have you guys been up to now? You guys live here in LA.
I got back and just went right back to it. I've been working at Brick CrossFit for, oh my gosh, like 3.5 years. So I started working again and just getting back to the swing of things. He, on the other hand, has been,
Oh, yeah, I'm all over the
you
place.
know, all over the place.
Real estate,
Yeah,
right? That was
Yeah.
where we last left off with you.
Originally, I dabbled with real estate. I say dabbled because it was a short period of time.
Dabbed before,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You started
There
saying
you go.
dabbed. Okay, so he doesn't
Mistake.
dance, but he dabs, ladies and gentlemen.
But I was lucky enough to get to work with some high-end individuals in real estate. It was fun. It wasn't for me. It wasn't the right time. Ironically enough, hosting was something that I've always wanted to do. I moved out here to do that. Lately, 'cause you guys know how it is. It's a process. Hosting is not just like, hey, you're going to E-News
Bam,
tomorrow.
yeah, I'm
It
going to be
takes
famous
time.
in 1 second.
It's
Put
like
me on
being
the
an
news.
actor. You got to go to
Yeah,
auditions.
you
You
gotta
got to
build
build
that
your
resume.
portfolio. You
Yeah.
got to get experience.
It's
and
tough.
You gotta, yeah. Oh yeah, it's so hard.
So
It's a long time.
I think it's no secret. I love talking, and if you love talking, and
could not tell this
if
whole
you're
time.
if you're a confident individual, sales is a great industry to go into. So anyone that's interested in a career, sales. I'm a big sales guy. I read a lot on sales. Ask her.
YouTube.
I'm
All day
YouTube.
long.
It
Yeah.
makes you watch it.
I'm big
All
on it.
night. It's
you
like
wanna be
I
like
wake
a
up at
Wolf
2
of Wall
a.m. He's
Street
like on the
type
computer. I'm like,
sale.
what are you
I'm big.
doing?
I'm big into that. I'm very money driven. And I've been in medical sales. So
Okay.
that's what I do. And hopefully, we'll see what happens. I'm kind of worried about tomorrow and not later on. I drive her.
living
Poor girl. I
Well,
mean,
later
no
on
one.
is the babies and the ring and
Yeah, she has to listen to so much. I mean, it's a lot.
So
It's,
you and Corey are gonna get your own radio show or come on AfterBuzz every week because he loved it last week too.
He did.
he what?
He
Oh,
loved it. Yeah, he stayed like 20 minutes after, was just taking all these videos and
course
pictures
he
with
was.
the
Go hard,
microphone.
go home.
He would,
Like I was
he
like,
would.
ooh, I gotta get into radio, have my own show.
He's mentioned
so,
radio.
YouTube would
to me
be
before.
fun
Right?
to
So
listen
guys,
to.
If you had a show, that's how a lot of people get started now. Is a podcast
Yes.
and getting viewers and all that stuff.
And make sure you stay with us. You're not going on No Quitters podcast.
Me and him. Me and
Not
him
allowed.
were,
Yeah, you're staying on
I think
AfterBuzz, not Barstool.
me and him do well. Mind you, me and Corey, after Are You the One, after I finished Are You the One, we ended up linking up over the phone. I was still in college, and wow. At that time, he's like, "You're gonna get on the challenge, trust me," and I'm gonna get back on because he had a hurt knee.
Yeah.
And
It's surgery, he was
next
telling
thing
me,
you
yeah.
know, we get on. We've been roommates every season. Obviously, there was the little hiccup where I put him in, and shabada shabada shabada.
Everybody always does, though.
Yeah, but overall, Corey, he's a really good person. He's very positive. There's just not a bad bone in his body. So we've, I'm very fortunate where I was able to come in and have an immediate friend. And I think we do well bouncing off each other. I'm more of like a slick back. Corey's like
see
a
it.
hoodie and like
Yeah. Oh, he is
you
Mr.
know?
Smooth.
Yeah. He's good though. He's good.
Totally.
You gotta find him a girl.
I know.
Keep him blocked.
He had a girl
I
though.
think he's fine
I
finding
think he's had many girls. I think
Yeah.
he's okay there.
He can find them. It's just
Keeping them.
Does he want to wipe him
exactly.
up?
You said it. I didn't know what word to use. Keeping them or trying to have them not do things
just
that he
hasn't
doesn't
found the
like.
one yet.
Pee in the bed.
He had a serious girlfriend on Bloodlines. She would write him notes, and
Yes,
she
but
would
then
read
he
them.
hooked up with Anissa, right?
Yeah, and it was kind of, I don't know if it was going down the drain, but he, I don't know. He wasn't all in, but he was all in, kind of. It was a weird situation.
Makes sense.
It was a weird situation, but he did have a girl, and you know, ladies out there, if you like him, he'll date. He will.
And the DM. Is that how that song goes? Something.
Darn
You know how it goes.
I don't know how it goes.
You know how it goes. You know what's funny is I
Trying
was,
to act like she
I
doesn't
do not
the
know how
song.
it goes.
I was having this discussion with her about guys and DMs and if guys hit up their girl, and obviously like my chick's on TV, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, when I post a picture of her, and I don't post, you know, a crazy, but I posted a few of her, I will not tag her. You know why? Because
then you get all the guys.
and then guys complain like, oh, why are
They
people hitting
message
up?
you,
No, they
or-
message her.
Right.
Because I tag her. It's like, it's not an open invite. So recently, I've tagged her as when
My
you click,
chick.
No, don't play yourself.
He's just
You're not
letting
gonna
you know.
find-
He's
It's one
just
thing if
letting
you know her from the
y'all
show,
know.
but I'm not
Right.
gonna fucking. Oops, excuse me. Excuse my language. I'm not gonna advertise to, hey, go follow my girl and hit her
Right,
up.
like here she is. Here's
Nah.
all of her social media. Even though we're
way.
like, oh, find her on Twitter. Here.
Yeah. Too late.
Check
yeah.
it out.
Sorry, Dario. We
Well,
made
you
it
ain't gonna
easy.
find it through me.
All right, we made it easy for everybody. Yeah, because you're even private on Instagram, I believe.
You are too, aren't
So
you?
you guys trying to keep a low profile.
Yeah, in a sense.
I had like a crazy
Oh yeah, tell me about
situation
that.
that just happened to
Oh,
me with this girl like
gosh.
stole my identity, but in like a really creepy way. Like she was taking all my pictures basically, and like
Like catfishing?
yes, total catfish.
Oh
She
my
created this like
God.
Instagram, which that's not abnormal. That's happened before.
Right.
Right.
But
you're on
and some guy
TV.
DM'd me and like said, hey, like this girl, you know, was using your pictures. I was gonna meet up with her. I'm like, well, that sucks. And I didn't really think anything of it.
Right.
And then this other guy, like a couple months later, Snapchat me, like sent me a message and was like, I have to tell you about this girl. It's kind of crazy. And I'm like, okay, I've heard about her, whatever.
I'm so scared.
Then he sends me pictures of like letters she wrote to him
Ugh.
saying that she's been using like my face basically to like lure people in, and then
Right.
she would send them like nudes, but obviously her face isn't in it, and like videos for money. So this girl was making money off of me
wow.
for like a year straight, and she's like,
the
she
hustle of
confessed
this
to him because she like liked him, I guess. I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
Over the last 2 weeks, there's been probably 50 people hit me up. I had to get her like taken off of
Thinking
Instagram
that
and
you
like
were the nude
well,
video
what
taker.
happened was Instagram got
no
her
joke.
account
Yeah, it was no
taken
joke.
off or whatever,
Right.
and then they made the mistake, which I told them I don't know if I want this. They merged her followers with me, so they
So
all
you
just
got
thought
her
I gained
followers.
like all these followers,
Oh
and these guys were like, "So
gosh.
where have you been? I haven't heard from you." I'm like, "Nah, it's not me."
That is so
wow.
creepy.
So I had to explain myself to all these people. He's like, "Why are you explaining yourself?" I'm like, "Because these guys think they're dating me."
Yeah.
Like, or
You gotta set
it
them
was so
straight.
creepy. It was so creepy, but
Is that done with now? Or are you
apparently,
still
but
getting...
she's probably gonna start another one. Who knows?
Oh
No,
my god.
people are
You
crazy.
can never be too
Seriously,
You
careful.
really
people are
can't.
insane.
And so we're just like, let's put it on private because at least that's like a step in the right direction.
I accept
You
everybody.
just
Well, like we'll put it on
Catfish me, I
private.
don't
We'll
care.
accept
I saw
everybody.
you in private and I was gonna follow you, but we hadn't met yet. So I was like, is he gonna think this is weird or creepy if
Yeah.
I'm asking to follow him? So I'll
Yeah,
just wait
No,
until
it's
after
just-
we
Yeah,
are on the show
I accept
together.
everyone. She does too.
I don't know.
So it's all
I
just
follow-
a front.
It's hard because social media is so. It's like there's so many pluses and so many negatives to
It's
it.
negatives. I told
He
her
hates it, but-
a few months after the show, once I get them followers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I need a break. I need a break. I think everyone deserves a break. It's just,
Just shut it down.
come on. At least take it off your phone. You don't have to delete the whole thing, but take it off your
Yeah.
phone. Relax. There's more to life. Put your head up.
Yeah.
You know.
We
let's
check
go.
each other all the time. Like he'll be on his phone. I'm like, why are you on Instagram? Or he'll be
There
like,
you go.
so what are you
Yeah.
doing over there?
I really am so good of you
We go to
guys for
Bible
being
study on
on TV.
Wednesdays.
Do you?
Every Wednesday. She actually
tell
got
if
me
you're
into
serious
it.
or not.
No, I'm
No,
dead
we do.
I'm
serious.
serious. Okay, you
Dead
said it like
serious.
it's sarcastic.
Dead
on my
serious.
well-
outlet. You're like, yeah, we totally go to Bible
Yeah,
study.
I do. I was religious, but I didn't grow up interested at all in it.
practicing.
Yeah, and you know, it's a big part of her life, and she values it. So when I came out here, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to give it a shot if I'm gonna be living with
You
this girl.
guys.
And,
She's trying to sit
Moon
on
all of
you.
you right now.
Yep.
No,
and,
do.
and I went.
Don't worry.
I already fell for it.
We
So it's okay.
go, we go every Wednesday, and anyways, she was on her phone, and it's funny because she brought me this Bible study, and she loves it, and I'm like, get off your phone! Like, what are you doing? And it was
I was
We're
actually
praising
taking
the
notes.
Lord right
Right.
now. Stop
Yeah.
texting.
He was
Judah
like,
Smith.
your phone is annoying me.
Shout out,
Judas is time.
shout out to Judah Smith.
He's amazing.
Like
If
the
you guys should
number
go.
one pastor. I mean, this guy, Justin Bieber was there last week.
Okay,
this
I was
is
gonna
his
say,
guy. This is
was
his
that
guy.
him?
unbelievable. He makes the Bible like 106 in Park from back then.
That's amazing. I feel like I have to go just to see what that's like.
He wears ripped jeans and Chelsea
he's
boots.
amazing.
You know, he's legit. He's cool. Good dude.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. Well, I'm glad you guys are doing well. I think I can say that we'll see you again in a future challenge.
You think so?
I'm gonna assume yes. Will we see you again if they offer it to you?
I don't know.
Will you guys come
We'll
together?
see.
Just depends.
Can we see you on
We
one of
go
these
back and
episodes
forth
a
with
little
that.
bit
We're
more
like,
early?
should we
Yeah.
go together? Should we not? That might be bad. That could be good.
Because
There's
now I'm in a different position, and I
True.
tell her that.
True.
Okay, now I like, you know, I don't want to use the L word.
he loves me.
I'm not taking it that far. But you know what I'm saying, okay? It's a
You
different.
said babies before, so I'm pretty sure you can say the L word.
Right. You know, I wake up to this woman. I sleep with this woman. I do everything with her. Now I gotta be put in the house and reminded of whatever. Look, a part of me is like, yo, you're being immature. Do whatever you gotta do. But I need to make a path for myself outside of that show.
Yeah.
Or else it's gonna be a cycle, and I'm gonna continue to do it. And I talk a lot
gonna
about
be Johnny
money.
Bananas
Yeah.
then.
And I tell her I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna do all this stuff. That's not gonna take care of nobody. Okay. Even if
No,
you
you're
win,
right.
even if you win, it's okay. But $100,000.
How long is it gonna last you?
It's not gonna. It's
Approximately.
I can tell you. She knows.
It'll change your life, you know, a little bit, but it ain't gonna.
It's a
get you
quick
my
fix
house.
though, and a
It's not
quick
a
fix of
long-term
money
It's a Band-Aid.
makes you puts you
Definitely
in a
great
place.
cushion. I mean,
Well, you'll get what happens is the cycle of the show. You'll go on, you'll make money,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of chill. And you can't come right back to your job half the time because you were gone for
You're just
2 months, so
Right.
you can't do that. And then by the time the next one comes, it's like, oh, do you want to do another show? And you're like, well, you know, kind of need some money, so why
Yeah.
not? And it just becomes a cycle.
it lasts
She won
you
the big
your
bucks.
unemployment time.
Yep.
She had the big bucks. I mean,
I didn't
can't
even win
talk
that
about-
much either. Like, because we won a team of four, so
four,
it's a lot
yeah.
less than people have won.
Are you
Unfortunately.
still living off of that? You still have
Hell
some of that
no,
money? Hell
no.
Dang, that quick?
Yeah, I got 4 Louis bags.
That was
I ain't
years
got
ago.
nothing.
That was
Okay,
like
you're
it was a
right.
long
Yeah,
time
I'm
ago.
such like a
2013?
cereal saver, though. I feel like I'd be a little crazy
No.
about
Some
it.
people.
I lived off of it though for years. I lived in New York City, like high priced places, and I'm very good with my money. Very, very good with my money. But it goes, you know, it doesn't last
Like, nope,
forever.
not me.
When I
So he's
got.
living with her.
Are you the one? When I won, I was a junior in college. They sent me a check, $33,000.
Best check
Right.
ever as a junior in
college.
college. Are you kidding
I
me?
tell
You're
everyone.
so young.
Shots on me.
I tell everyone,
Oh
no,
my
shots and Taco Bell
God.
for all my boys the rest of the year. No, and I'm not
Bell.
kidding.
I want to
Taco
see
Bell,
dinner.
yeah.
We're the biggest
Well,
advocates of Taco
When you're
Bell.
drunk late
so
night, it's like Taco
why do we
Bell.
not
He'll
have
fit
it
right
in front
in.
of us?
I
honestly?
crushed it. I went to Vegas.
Did you go to the Cantina one? The Taco Bell Cantina.
You can
Where-
get
where- where's
Vegas.
it?
Can't
They
you
did-
get married
I
there
go to
now?
Taco Bell in
At Taco
Vegas, but
Bell?
I never
did.
heard
I don't
of it.
know.
That's what
I
did.
swear on my
Yeah,
life.
brand
Really?
new.
Didn't my
get
brother
married
post
at
about Taco Bell? You can get married
Oh,
in
yeah,
Vegas
that's
at
new.
Taco Bell now.
It's
Shout out to
incredible.
Chris Kelsey. KK. But
I
anyways,
see what you're doing.
in Vegas, so I spent a lot of money in college, and then I went to Vegas. I mean, my money went so quick. This was my first time ever. Now, Leroy, I don't know if Leroy.
Yeah.
he
Oh,
is,
yeah. We know who Leroy
I love
is.
him.
He's like my
Love
brother.
him.
I was
He
living
lives
with
there.
him. I was living with him. He really, I mean, he let me use his car. He's gone out of his way for me. He is beyond a friend. Like one of my really, I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen how many times? Come on. Anyhow,
He's great.
So I went to go visit him, and I had a suite at Caesar's Palace. And I said,
Okay, well,
oh, I got
as a
money.
junior in college,
I
oh my God,
I upgraded.
Dario.
I upgraded.
So
We got
jealous.
a piano in there. I mean,
So you
like
tried to
piano,
recreate
do
the
you?
Hangover, is what it's
it was,
Essentially.
yeah, and my money was
Did you
was
borrow
gone.
Mike Tyson's Tiger as well, or?
I tried.
Okay.
I tried.
He was unavailable.
You know.
He was booked that weekend.
Now I go to McDonald's and I order 2 Big Macs and nuggets, and when I get to the window I say and they say $5.20. I'm like, take off the nuggets. It's like that
Make it a
Oh
five-piece.
man, times have changed.
Well, I'm glad that you guys were able to come in. You guys are more than welcome to come back at any
course.
time that
We
you
love
want.
you guys.
Can you
Thank
tell
you for
everybody
having
where they
us.
can find you on social media? One more time, even
Don't
though
tell
you know
them
to accept
Instagram.
everybody.
Yeah. Well, they might accept you anyway.
Don't do
so.
actually social media anymore.
guys,
Yeah.
get out.
Jeez.
Hey,
What's
she doesn't
up?
want to give it up. You go ahead.
No, give out whichever one you. Do
Okay,
you not
so-
use any of them?
Yeah, I mean, Instagram I use the most, just Ashley Marie Kelsey. Twitter for the show, Ashley Marie MTV.
There you go.
Dario dot. I don't know why they're laughing. But
You
it's
get really
okay.
into your like.
I know. Dario dot Medrano. That's it. That's simple. Instagram.
There you go.
Like I said, I don't use Twitter that much, so don't hit me. I won't hit you.
All right, there you
That's
go.
it.
Where can they find you?
So, guys, once again, my name is Jenna. You can find me on Twitter at Jenna_Bussiere.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar. Thank you guys for joining, and we will see you guys next week.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
I think I saw one.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.